Hello, this is CK7 again with another commentary for Disney vs. non-Disney villains, this time round 10. First up, we have Pete from Disney's, in this case, Disney's Mickey, Donald, Goofy, the Three Musketeers versus El Supremo from Freddy as F407. Ever since the downfall of Prince John, Pete takes over as king, but El Supremo challenges Pete for the crown. Glad that you're finally using Pete, because he's the very first Disney villain, and he's appeared in many Disney shorts and movies and etc. So I'm guessing he'll be in the war for quite a while. And Pete is another favorite of mine, because at least he's my favorite Disney classic. Alright, now we have Scar versus Steel from Balto. Nice to see that you're finally using Steel, because Balto is another one of my favorite non-Disney classics. Really good movie. Although Steel, just like with Gaston and Drake, Steel is another villain that I just can't stand. Because he's so full of himself and so selfish. And I was kind of wondering, how are you going to make his defeat scene? Because, I mean, he doesn't die in the movie he's from. But then, of course, I know you guys are the extreme editors y'all are, and y'all found a solution. Y'all just simply use Scar's defeat scene as Steel's death. Very creative. Now we have Captain Hook, as I see you're using footage of him from Return to Neverland. Okay, it's him versus King Haggard from The Last Unicorn. Captain Hook is searching for more land for Frollo, I guess, and decides to get rid of King Haggard, who is in the way. I think that's what's happening. And I've only seen The Last Unicorn once, and I will say it was like an okay movie, I guess, but it was kind of depressing as well. It was very depressing. But King Haggard, he's a pretty cool villain. If only you gave him some more screen time, but it's alright, because he just doesn't have too much footage. Now we have Zira and the Horned King versus Red. And now this is where the whole get rid of the Hexus faction thing begins. Zira wants revenge on Red and decides to team up with the Horned King for assistance to deal with him. Because there you have Zira's claws, paws, and jaws, and the Horned King's magic in the cauldron. Nice to see Zira's finally getting a fight. And as well as the Horned King gives another fight himself. Although it's very unexpected that the Horned King and Zira would team up. Did not see that coming. And that's the end of Red. And of course this run is where you guys start to get rid of a lot of the fan favorite villains. Now we have Pain and Panic versus Hotep and Hoi. Pain and Panic arrive at Maleficent's fortress and try to join her. But first, they have to take out the two priests, Hotep and Hoi. And Pain and Panic are about to find out what happens when they try to play with the big boys. When I originally figured you guys were going to use Hotep and Hoi, I kind of imagined you would have used Jasper and Forrest from Herman Dalmatians. I mean, that could have been another idea. Because, you know, one on each side, one dude is skinny and the other's fat. So, yeah. And now we have Dr. Facilier versus Thrax, which I was pretty psyched that you guys were doing this fight, because you got my all-time favorite Disney villain fighting my all-time favorite non-Disney villain. So I wasn't even sure who I was wanting to root for, because they're just both so awesome. So, yeah, I mean, they're just so awesome. But of course I had to root for Facilier, because he still needs to take his revenge out on Moth. So I was disappointed that you got rid of Thrax. And by the way, his death scene is really intense. Really epic the way he disintegrates in the alcohol. But still, yeah, I'm still glad Facilier is in the game. That's all that matters. And finally, now that Hexus has lost all his allies, decides he'll rise to the surface. And Hades finds the perfect opportunity to finish him off. And he does, but with assistance by summoning the Firebird from Disney's Fantasia 2000. This fight right here has to be the most epic and most intense fight you've made in this round. Maybe in this series as well. Because the Firebird and this music and the color background just makes this fight so epic. And Hades thinks that Hexus is out, but he's not. He's rising. I just love Hades' expression right there. I'm just kind of watching this battle right here. It's so epic. I mean, look at this. And just like with Hades and Hexus, is the Firebird that much bigger than Hexus? Because that means the Firebird is ginormous.
Favorite part of the game. Sudden death.
Nice use of sound bites right there. That was epic, and that's the end of the Hexus faction. And I forgot to bring this up, that what's interesting about the Firebird is that, well, let me pause it here for a second. The Firebird is inspired by the eruption of Mount St. Helens. And I guess that segment from Fantasia 2000, the Firebird Sweat takes place in Mount St. Helens, which would make sense. The scenery looks similar and all. And the Firebird, he's kind of similar to Chernobog. I mean, you could say he's like Chernobog's pet. You know, that would be an interesting idea for someone to, if they do another spin-off, because I know, Sarah Thruman, you brought up that you're sick and tired of Chernobog fights, that you're hoping if someone uses Chernobog, that they'll use him for something else besides chaos and destruction and all. I had an idea that Chernobog could form his own faction of like giant spiritual demonic-like beings that would be made up of him, the Nightmare King, the Emperor of the Night, Hexus, and the Firebird, which in the series he would be Chernobog's pet. So at one fight, Chernobog would send the Firebird to take out an opponent. Maybe. It's an idea that I had. I think it would be cool if anyone else is doing their own spin-off, that can be an idea they can use. Anyway, Hades is now back in control of the Underworld, and there's his pet, Cerberus. And now that he's got the Underworld back, and he's pissed at Pain and Panic for working with Hexus. Anyway, Hades has the Underworld back and leaves Eris, which this ticks her off. And Eris just leaves. And she and Ramses meets up with Ruber's faction. And Ramses teams up with Ruber and them. And Eris helps Rasputin and giving more power to his reliquary, I guess is what's happening. And Mach and Screw Eyes is downloading the data from Zurg for dimensional travel.
Get me what's her face.
And of course, you bring back Hollywood, who I still dislike.
No work and no play makes Mach a dull boy.
I'm serious. Mach has to have the most epic, the most horrific, evil laugh of any villain that I could think of. I'm serious. And like I said, I did not really expect to see Hollywood back again, but I do understand why you have her team up with Mach, because many people seem to pair them two together. They make a very interesting couple. I mean, they are both insane and psychotic. But what I don't get is, what I find very ironic is that Hollywood was given a similar offer by Catterwall and Carface earlier in the war. She ditched their faction. I mean, she ditched their offer, but yet she goes for Mach instead. I find that kind of unusual and disturbing. And yeah, so that's just kind of unusual and all. And Pete meets up with Darla Dimple and really plans to get rid of her once and for all. So yeah, things are really starting to get serious in this war. Sorry if I can't talk today. But yeah, this is my commentary on round 10, and I'll be bringing up the last few.